Hey, what's up, guys? Um, Tim Payne, English 1101. Hopefully, that is readily apparent. Number one, because there's really no way you'd be seeing this without being on our page, which is an 1101 page. But also, I don't know, man. Maybe you found your way here through some accident of the cosmos. If that's the case, that's my really stupid way of saying if you're not supposed to be in this class somehow, I don't know. Just make sure that name lines up, this class lines up. If all that's good, you're where you need to be. Let's talk about the syllabus. I'll go ahead and say it. Syllabus is not a fun document. To be totally candid with you, it's not a fun document to put together. They're long, they're arduous. I'm gonna get through it relatively quickly, relatively painlessly. And at the end of the video, actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about the class itself, what we have coming up. We're going to kind of really start the semester here. To begin with, I actually like to introduce myself, and I'm doing screen capture, so you've seen my face in the previous video. If you didn't watch that, you're not missing much, mostly my face. I could take a hard pass on it myself. My name is Tim Payne. I am your English professor. Um, the way I like to introduce myself, I'm actually going to ask you guys, I'm going to give you a discussion post after this video goes live to do something similar. Um, your name, where you're from, kind of got what you have going on in school, and then an interesting fact about yourself. One quick note on the interesting fact: please do not share anything with your classmates that you would not like shared. Um, you would think I wouldn't have to say that, but I do. I've had some kind of dicey situations in classes previous. So if you don't want us to know something about you, please don't tell us. Anyway, as I've said a couple times now, my name is Tim Payne. You can kind of call me any iteration of that you like. I prefer Tim because that's what I've been called my entire life. Um, Most students aren't super comfortable with that, which I understand. Mr. Payne is fine or whatever. That does make me sound like a low-key supervillain, but again, it's up to you. Where I'm from Douglasville, which is not too far from here. I assume many of you have heard of it. Uh, in my youth, we were the meth capital of the South. I don't know if there's a better claim to fame for Douglasville. So that's that. School. So obviously, I'm finished with school as far as being a student goes. I was a student for a very long time. Uh, I got my bachelor's at West Georgia in English, which is lucky because that's what we're here to talk about. I got a master's in literature also at West Georgia, and then I followed my wife to Alabama. Yes, we have a big game tonight. I followed my wife to Alabama, where I taught and studied poetry for like 3 or 4 years. It gets kind of hazy in there, particularly because at the end of our time at Alabama, um, my wife and I, we had our first child. That's my interesting fact, actually. That's me. That's my oldest. He's Jack. He's very cute. And this is our youngest, Sam, who is crazy. Look at that guy. He knows we're taking. Who does that? Who looks like that when you know someone's taking your picture? That is bananas. This is them at Halloween. They don't dress like that. Actually, they do dress like that all the time. He's 6. He's 4. They dress like that all the time. So, but on Halloween it's accepted, and we were in public. So anyway, that's them. They're mostly great. All right. So that's my introduction. Um, as I said, I'm gonna post a discussion post right after this goes live. Really quick, really painless. To be again totally honest, I try to be transparent as a teacher. This first discussion post won't be for a grade. Um, but it would just be nice to introduce yourselves to each other, you know, since we're fully online. You don't have to include a picture if you don't want to, but of course you can. That's up to you. Anyway, all right, so the syllabus. English 1101, what is it? I'm going to paraphrase things. I'm going to kind of blow past a couple things. All of this is here for you. I'm just using the syllabus that's up on CourseDen. So this is readily accessible. But English 1101 is an introduction to college level writing. And there's a couple different ways to apply that definition. Number one, obviously, you guys are always super worried about like grammatical concerns and syntactical concerns, which is funny because most of you don't even know what syntax means. But um, that's really only half the battle. The other half is college level thinking. Um, we're going to spend a lot of our time talking about that. So don't freak out too much right now. That we will fully dive into that starting this week. But mostly, I'm going to ask you to think for yourselves and try to apply that as best you can. Um, you'll see what I mean in very short order. All my contact information is right here. Ooh, let's cover this right now. Please, if you're going to hit me up, use my Weska. I've already had a couple emails through CourseDen. I don't know why anyone would do that. Um, CourseDen was newish when I was a student, which was a while back. To give you a rough idea, I was alive in the 80s. So, yeah, why would anyone use CourseDen? We have Gmail. Look at this. It's so much better. If nothing else, it looks cooler. You can have pictures. That's my cat. Um, we could chat as well. There's video chat options if you're into that for some strange reason. Like there's all kinds of cool stuff here, whereas there's not here. This is kind of ugly and spare and terrifying. Uh, that's me trying to be funny. Don't worry about that. Mostly the reason I prefer you use Weska, number one, it's actually required by the university that we contact each other via that medium, but also it comes to my phone. If you hit me up on Weska, I will see it much sooner than if you contact me via CourseDen. I will see it eventually on CourseDen because I do check CourseDen, but I have to go to a computer, log in, right? It's 2022. Hit me up on your phone. Like, send me an email. Anyway, my virtual office hours are here. That's when I'm next to a laptop and or my phone. We can communicate virtually there. I'm also in a physical office Tuesday, Thursday, 12:15 to 1:45. My office is in Pafford 304J. J because it's a cubicle. I know you're very jealous. Yeah, so there's all that. We don't have meeting times because it's online. We have one assigned text. It's called The Social Dilemma. It's a documentary. It's on Netflix. Some of you may have seen it already. It's the very first text we're going to deal with this semester, actually. I provide the rest of the texts. If you don't have Netflix, which I know people like that exist, but I don't think it's very many, I will say they have free trials that you can use, or you can just make a friend and borrow their password, right? Like I feel strongly that asking you to have a Netflix account, have access to one for the first couple weeks of class isn't a big ask. All right, let's breeze through some of this. Grades, you know how those work. Major assignments. I've listed sort of how we break down your grade over the course of the semester. You have 3 papers of varying lengths, which are listed here. The due dates of those papers, okay, and then how much they're worth, again, for your final grade. We have your homework, which is 15%. You have a project at the very end, which is 5%. That's way at the end, so don't even worry about that right now. Mostly, your grade is going to sort of be lost in one with these 3 assignments. And of course, we're going to spend all of our time this semester on those 3 assignments. So you should be good to go there. All right. Last but certainly not least, the schedule. This is, for all intents and purposes, really the most important section of the syllabus. It's broken down by days, and of course, those days constitute weeks, and you just roll through the whole semester. Basically, what I'm recommending to you right now, you should we used to back in the day say print out your syllabus. I'm not going to do that, but you should be looking at this once or twice a week minimum, just to make sure you know where we're at in the semester, and then of course what is being asked of you. Right. So very first day, it's listed for Tuesday. I'll talk about that in a second. But first day stuff. What do we got? Uh, I've used my regular syllabus template, so when it says in class, some online classes freak out. That just means this is what we're talking about this week, okay? First day stuff, got it. Review syllabus, we're doing it. Class introductions, that's a discussion post I talked about. CourseDen tour, I'm going to show you CourseDen a little bit here in a moment. All right, that's it. I didn't have any homework assigned because I'm not insane. It's the first day. No reading as well. All right, next time, Thursday, what do we got? I'm going to talk to you about our first essay. We're going to talk a little bit about summary stuff. Don't, more on that later. quotation and paraphrase. Again, that's going to be our in-class sort of episode next time. No homework per se, but you do have some reading due. Okay, these last two items, I guess. This is what is asked of you. Okay, before you go and check out that Thursday episode. I wish I could think of a better word because it's not like this is a show. But anyway, I want you to look over the prompt for essay 1, and I'm going to go show you where to find that here in just a moment. And I want you to watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. I assume you can figure that one out. Again, that's going to be our text for the very first essay. We're going to start talking about the first essay next time, so I think it would just benefit everyone. Basically, it would make your life much easier. It would make things make much more sense if you've already watched the film. It's like an hour and a half. I think you can do it. Okay. And it just goes like that for the whole semester. Okay. When in doubt, obviously you can always hit me up, but I say this so many times a semester. Go check the syllabus first, man. If you're a little bit lost in regards to what's going on, where we're at, sort of in the course, or what you need to be working on, check this guy out, man. It's all listed here. And by the way, this took me hours to put together. It is the most boring thing you can imagine. So please just send up a prayer and look for me and look over the syllabus real quick. Okay. So there's that. I told you we could get through it relatively painlessly. Coursed-in. Let's actually go to the very front of Coursed-in because I want you to see it sort of as you log in. When you log into Coursed-in, you get all your classes listed here. Let's go one of my 1101s. Okay, you pull that up. This is our home page. It'll look a little different if you access it on your phone. I would recommend, I don't know. I mean, you guys are pretty comfortable on your phones, as evidenced by this photo of some people. But I would still recommend, I don't know. If I was trying to navigate the site and like turn stuff in, I'd probably try to do it on a computer or a laptop just to make because the spacing gets wonky. Like I said, Coursed-in is old. It wasn't actually designed with phones in mind, so I think they've done actually a pretty decent job of sort of rigging it to make it work now, but it just works better on a PC or something. Anyway, you have our calendar over here, which I believe is all of our assignments. You'll notice they're due at 10 a.m. I can give you a little bit of wiggle room on that. You'll see in different places like due by class time. I mean 10 a.m. Again, we don't have a quote unquote class, right? Because we don't meet physically. But I think 10 a.m. is a pretty good cutoff. Some of you will balk at that because you're not up at 10 a.m. What I'm fond of saying to students is, okay, well then it's due the night before for you, then isn't it? A nicer way to put that would be if this one wasn't due January 13th, 10 a.m., what that would actually look like then would be January 12th, 11:59 p.m., right? Like this is giving you whatever kind of time you need. Think about your schedule, make it work, but most of our stuff is due at 10 in the morning. You see that as you scroll. Our major assignments, our essays, things like that, I give you till midnight. We'll talk about that stuff when we get there, which will actually be next time. Anyway, so this is our front page syllabus. That's what we were just looking at here. Okay, content is where everything's going to be for the most part. Our homework assignments, discussion posts. There's our first video. If you haven't watched that yet and you feel so inclined, go for it. We're almost done, by the way. I don't want anybody getting antsy. Okay, Coursed-in. How does ours work? Because I can't speak to other folks. I break it up by unit. So essay 1, rhetorical analysis, that's the kind of essay we're writing this first go around. All of our assignments, all of our pretty much anything that you need to either turn in or look at for the first essay will be here. Okay, and I list it chronologically. So our first homework assignment, which is due next time. Oh, I'm not good with dates. No, that's next week. Don't worry. Sorry. Don't panic. Anyway, you have your due date, you have a little bit of a description, and I will talk about this before it's due, okay? But that's the 18th. Our next one is the 20th, right? After that's the 25th. It's all chronological. So again, if you sort of keep up to date and you just work as you go, you just kind of scroll down, and I think you can I think you can navigate that. Also, I want to mention to you, I break it into sections just to kind of keep things organized. So your prompt, which I want you to look at next time, there's a date for that, obviously. Um, Along with any other sort of reading materials, nothing you're gonna type up for me, just stuff I want you to read at various points. That's in its own section. Any videos I post, including this one, will be posted to the videos section, obviously. And then, as I showed you a moment ago, ooh, that's not live. That's fun. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go check all these. Cool. Anyway, um, sorry, I lost my train of thought. All right, so all your homework assignments will be under those sections. Okay. All right. Oh, and to show you real quick, so again, when we get to the second paper, you'll go to the second unit, and it's organized the same way. Third unit for you get it. All right. That's pretty much the class. As I said, you'll have that discussion post I keep talking about that will be live right after this video, where I would just like you to introduce yourselves. One more quick reminder: please, please, please don't share any information you don't want shared with us. I've had people in the past tell us things about themselves. People react negatively to that information, and then the person who shared the information gets upset. Um, just just don't do that, man. Don't put anybody in that position. Tell us what you want us to know, or don't. I don't know. Just use your best judgment. Um, as I said, you want to look over that syllabus. You want to look at our first couple assignments, which for next time is just watch the social dilemma, look over the prompt for paper one, um, and then next time, I suppose I'll post the next video probably Wednesday, same time about as this. Um, but by the time you go and look at that video, have those two things done, and we will start quote unquote real class then. All right. Hope everybody is doing well, kind of getting adjusted here in the first week. And that's all I got. Just take it easy.